So today I wanted to talk to you about objections that we have when we're making a decision, when we're making a commitment, whether it's financial or otherwise. Typically, these objections can be I don't have the time, I don't have enough time to do that, or I can't afford it, or it's not the right time, or even why should I hire someone else to do that because I can do it better. Our ego gets in the way. So one of the objections I hear a lot is I can't afford it, or the other is I'm not the right time. It's not the right time. So I have a personal story around I can't afford it, which I think will help to bring light to where these objections are really coming from. Oftentimes when we have these objections on the surface, it's it's not those actual objections that's causing us to say no, right? There's something deeper that's happening within us that we're not quite aware of yet. But the excuse that we're giving is that surface objection, which is I can't afford it or it's not the right time. So here's an example, personal example here. The first time I went to hire a business coach, I was going back and forth about signing up. I don't know if I can take on another monthly bill. I don't know if I can afford it. I went back and forth with that business coach as well and asked that business coach, are you going to be offering this program again next year? I don't know if this is the right time for me to do it finance wise. And the coach said, I don't know if I'll be offering it again next year. So I had to sit back and think about it. And finally, I decided to pull the trigger on it and just make the payment, commit to the monthly payments. And after I did that, what I realized was it wasn't that I didn't have the money or I couldn't figure out how to have the money. Because let's get real. When we say that we can't afford it, it's never about the money. It's never about the money. The objection always runs deeper. It's always much, much deeper, some other reason that's causing you to say, I can't afford it. So when I went a little bit deeper after I signed up for the program, I realized it really wasn't that I couldn't afford it or I didn't have the money or I couldn't figure out, or even if I didn't have the money, that I couldn't figure out how to get the money. It was more that I didn't think that if I made that financial commitment, I didn't think that I was going to be able to follow through, and that I thought that perhaps I would waste my money. And the reason why I thought that was at the time that I signed up with this business coach, I was juggling multiple jobs. I was juggling 4 different jobs. So I was concerned that, if I made this financial commitment, then I wouldn't be able to make the time to do the work, to show up and do the work and follow through. And in the end, it would be a waste of money. But the reality is, once you make the commitment, you will follow through, you will make the time, you will show up and do the work, you will do it. And then there was another instance this past fall where, again, I was going to sign up with a business coach for a one-on-one program. That was my goal. I wanted to get into a mastermind because I had gotten so far with the coaching I had been doing with my business prior. But I needed a mastermind. I needed something that was more personalized, that was more advanced, so I could take my business exactly where I wanted it to go. And so I went and I was investigating masterminds, and I was speaking with one coach about that coach's mastermind, and that the price, and again, the price was, I don't know if I have the money. I don't think I can afford it. My husband had just left his full-time job he was working for Cirque du Soleil. He had just left that job. And so we were just being conservative about money because he was building his online business at that time. Then fast forward, so I passed on that mastermind. Okay. Then fast forward just a couple months later, I started to investigate another mastermind because inside me, I still knew I need to sign up for a mastermind program. I need to have a more high level coaching program to take my business to the next level that I need it to go. So I started to explore another mastermind, which is the mastermind I'm in now. And I went through and I filled out the application. And I was like, I'm just going to fill out the application because filling out the application, it helps you. It's part of the decision-making process. When you go and you fill out an application and you put your thoughts down in an application, it helps you to weigh out pros and cons. It helps you to explore your fears, your motivations. It helps you to just go through all those thoughts in terms of making that decision. So my thought was, I'm going to fill out the application. I'm going to go through the interview process. I'm going to do this. So I went and I filled out the application. I got to the end of the application, and on the end of the application was the cost of the program. The cost of that program, the program I'm in right now, was 3 times as much as the first mastermind. 3 times as much as the first mastermind that I was investigating. Okay? But I still went through, submitted the application, got on the interview call, knowing that it was going to be 3 times as much as the mastermind, as the previous mastermind that I was looking into. So with that, I got on the call and I got on to the interview call. And with that, as I was on the interview call, then I was having the interview with the head of enrollment. And as I'm on this call, it was like my gut. Always trust your gut. Your gut knows exactly what's up, exactly what's going on, exactly what you need. So as I'm on this interview call for this program that's 3 times as much as the previous program that I was investigating that I said that I couldn't afford, I'm having this interview and my gut was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to do this program. I have to figure out how to come up with that money. It must happen. Got off the phone, came downstairs, told my husband, we got to figure this out. I have to do this program. I have to, my gut, right? So we didn't have that amount of money. It was $30,000. We didn't have $30,000 laying around for me to go and pay to do a mastermind program. But inside, my gut told me I had to do this program. So I need to figure out how to come up with the money. And we figured out how to come up with the money. We got some financing through our business, and we were able to pay for this program that I'm in right now. And then I thought back this whole process to all the objections I had, and that for interviewing that first mastermind, and then investigating the current mastermind that I'm in. And it wasn't about the money. It's not about the money. It's never about the money. What it was for me for this particular decision about the mastermind was that this second coach was a better fit for me than the first coach, and the program overall itself that I'm currently in is a better fit for me than the first program that I was investigating. So it had nothing to do with the money, and it had everything to do with what was a good fit for me. And when my gut tuned in and said, you're the best fit for you. It doesn't matter that it's 3 times more. This is the best fit for you, so this is what you should be doing. Then I went and I figured out how I was going to make the commitment and pay for it and follow through. And even when I did make the commitment, I was still petrified about spending all this money, and am I going to be able to show up for the program and do the work, or is it going to be a waste of money? But when you go and you sign on the dotted line and you make that commitment and you move forward, you make it happen. You do. You commit to it and you move forward. So next time you have an objection, I want you to think about, okay, now I'm having this objection. What is this really about? Is this about my ego? Is this about I don't want to let go of these tasks because I think I can do everything better than perhaps delegating? Is it my ego? Is it, when it comes to money, is it really just that because you're afraid that you won't follow through? It has nothing to do with the money. Or if it's not the right time, similarly, there could be an objection where you're afraid that you won't follow through. So you just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and say it's not the right time. So remember that the next time you make an objection, think about how that it'll run a lot deeper than that surface objection that you're having. So I hope that helps you for today. And this is something that I talk about and I coach with my business coaching clients all the time. So if you're looking for an online business coach, I'm your lady. I can totally help you out, because self-development and personal development, it carries over into your business. Because remember, there are no business problems, only personal problems. So if you're interested in working with me and you're looking for an online business coach, link is in my bio to apply, and I have 3 spots open right now. I had 4 and now I have 3. So I hope you'll consider working with me, and I'll be back on live again really, really soon. Have a great night.